What is up, everybody, and welcome to this week's edition of Tuesdays with Turbo, which is actually on Tuesday. So hopefully this is a continuing thing. Otherwise, the name just seems kind of silly. Yeah, we are here live. We're going to be talking about some getting into our hats off series, where this is this is kind of a series that I wanted to do because not only am I still getting my feet wet and I'm rather new into the commercial insurance side of things, but it also helps educate you guys and gals because you yourself might have one of these businesses. Or if you don't, please share this video because I guarantee there's someone on your timeline that could find this useful. But yes, today we are going to be talking about commercial pressure washing. Now, if you're pressure washing your stuff at home, do you need these coverages? No, but if you're doing it as a business, there are certain coverages that you will need to help protect your, uh, just to protect your business, and not only to keep your stuff safe, but you safe, your customers safe. So that's what we're going to be talking about today. So for those of you who do not know, my name is Ryan Turbo Jackson. I am your insurance resource, and I like to do videos like this to help educate you folks as to what you are buying and make a couple of suggestions on coverages you should carry, and hopefully help protect you and your assets. So yes, we're going to be getting into some commercial talk here. And like I said, commercial insurance is not for everyone. So if this doesn't pertain to you and you want to help out this channel or my page, please go ahead and share this because there might be someone on your timeline that could benefit from this. And if you are in the pressure washing business and you want a little bit more information, I'm going to go ahead and show my contact information at the end of the show, as well as if you guys or gals want a little cheat sheet as to what we're going on or what we're going to be talking about, go ahead and comment down below or shoot me a message and I'd be glad to get that information over to you. So what are we talking about today? Well, we're going to be talking about pressure washing. Like the thumbnail says, don't let a $50 hose cost you $50,000. And that's kind of where we're going with this, because there's kind of a lot wrapped up into excuse me, into insuring a pressure washing business. So we're going to be getting into this, and it's kind of, kind of ranked as the most important down to kind of some extras, if you want to think about it that way. But definitely the first couple here are going to be crucial. Okay. Now, this is going to be kind of an all-inclusive video. I do know with some pressure washing businesses, they do have, they bring their own water to the job site. Some of them use the client's water. So kind of keep that in mind as we're going here as to which pertains to you. So what is the most important coverage that any business owner should have? And that's general liability. And this goes especially for pressure washing. You're going to need general liability. So what does general liability cover? Well, it covers third-party damage or bodily injury caused by your business operation. It also covers legal fees and settlements if you're sued. So that's a huge thing. You're forcing a stream of water onto someone's property, whether it be a building, a sidewalk, a driveway, statues, you name it, decks, porches, patios. So you're spraying a high pressure, thousands of PSI onto someone's property. You want to make sure that if something happens and that gets goofed up, you have coverage. So what are some examples? You're pressure washing a commercial building and high pressure spray shatters a window or peels off paint unintentionally. There we go. Just as I was kind of describing it. And then when we talk about the lawsuit side, a customer slips on wet pavement that you just washed and breaks their arm. Your general liability would cover their medical bills and your legal defense. So as you know, we've all at one point experienced medical payments. Those aren't cheap. And neither are lawyers. So this is something that is crucial to your business, or to help protect your business. So let's talk about coverage number 2, because you got to have a way to get there. So let's talk about commercial auto. And with commercial auto, it's going to cover vehicles used for business purposes: trucks, vans, trailers, you name it. It can You're going to have the same coverages as your personal auto. You're going to have your liability, your medical, your comp, your collision, your roadside, your rental reimbursement, anything that you need. It's pretty much just a regular auto policy, but for a commercial use. Some examples for coverage here: while hauling a pressure washer to your job site, you rear end another car. Commercial auto covers the other. Yeah, it'd be the same as your regular personal auto, but you're using the vehicle for company business, so it doesn't need to be written commercially. So we've talked about the two big ones. We talked about coverage while you're actually doing the job and coverage while you're getting to the job. So what's the next thing, chronologically is, well, let's talk about inland marine. Let's talk about your stuff. Let's talk about, and yes, I know with inland marine, it does have kind of this has nothing to do with boats, unless your business has to do, like you're operating a boat. So then inland marine would actually be what it sounds like. But this is, it's to repair or replacement of equipment and tools if they're stolen, damaged, or destroyed, even while off-site. So this is going to cover your equipment, your pressure washer, any pumps, tanks, anything of that nature, and any tools that you have that you use to provide this service or do your job. That's, I would say, aside from your commercial auto, this is going to be your biggest expense is your equipment, because you can't really pressure wash without a pressure washer. So some examples would be your industrial pressure washer gets stolen from the back of your truck while you're grabbing lunch. Inland marine coverage would pay for a replacement. A hose burst mid-job, destroying your pressure washer pump. The inland marine coverage can cover repairs or replacement, depending on your terms. So this is going to make sure this coverage is going to make sure you're continuing to be up and running when something happens to your equipment. So let's talk about, just kind of doing our checklist here. We've got coverage to do business, coverage to get to and from the job site, coverage to actually do the job. Now, let's talk about number 4. Let's talk about covering the workers themselves. Now, if you're a one man or woman show, work comp is not needed or required. Now, again, when it comes to work comp, make sure you're checking your state's regulation. But if you're a solopreneur or you don't have any employees, you don't need work comp. But if you do have employees, this is something you want to make sure you're protecting your employees as well. So the next step in our little checklist is professional liability. Now, what do I mean by professional liability? Well, this is our errors and omissions coverage. This is going to make sure that we're ensuring that the job is being done. Okay, this is going to make sure that this covers claims of negligence, mistakes, or failures to deliver promised results. So if you promise to do a job and it didn't get done, or it didn't get done to the customer's liking, there can be coverage with this errors and omissions coverage. For an example, a client claims you damaged their wooden deck because you used the wrong nozzle or pressure setting, and they sue for repairs. Even if the claim is bogus, E&O covers legal defense and settlement. So there you go. So now that we've protected your business operations, we've covered your transportation to and from said job, we've covered the equipment to do your job, we've covered the people doing the job. Now we're making sure that the client is happy with all of the results from the job. Okay, so we're kind of making sure everything is as covered as possible, so you can continue to do your job, run your business without the fear of anything large coming out of pocket. So let's talk about some I'm not going to say optional coverages, but these are definitely something that if you haven't thought about them, you might want to. The next one is an umbrella policy. And if you've been following me for any amount of time, you know how just of a huge proponent I am for an umbrella policy. And just kind of a refresher, an umbrella is excess liability. So it's extra liability coverage on top of what if we had all of these in one policy, it would be a package policy. So your package policy would have one limit of liability, your business auto would have another, and then your umbrella would go above and beyond those. So, and again, in comparison to what they cover, you can get them for pennies on the dollar. But they provide extra liability protection beyond the limits of your general liability, your business auto, or work comp. An example would be your general liability policy covers $1 million, but you cause $1.5 million in damage while washing a commercial building. The umbrella would kicks in for the extra $500,000. So again, helps protect you so you're not making large out-of-pocket payments that could potentially cause a bankruptcy or just a major setback in your finances, which will impact your business. Now, when it comes to the next one, these are kind of optional, but definitely recommended, especially if you do have commercial property. So this is going to cover your shop, your office, storage facility, and everything inside. Not many power washing businesses have like a storefront, but if you do, this is something we want to make sure we take care of too, because it'll provide coverage for the building, any outbuildings, anything of that sort. The office furniture, anything inside the building, that's going to be covered under that with this coverage. So if that doesn't apply to you, no problem. But if you do have a storefront, that's definitely something that you want to take into account. Then, like I said, the next one here, number 8, and I know we're moving kind of at a pretty good clip, and there's a lot of stuff to take in. So if you have any questions, please let me know, and I will do my best to get. If I can't answer it, I will make sure we get you an answer. The next one here on our list is business interruption, and this is kind of is self-explanatory. Covers loss of income and operating expenses if your business is forced to shut down due to a covered loss, fire, storm, etc. So again, if we do have that storefront, and in the back of the storefront you actually store all of your equipment, what happens if that building catches fire? This business interruption coverage would provide coverage so that everyone knows it's going to take time for all of that stuff to get replaced. So this will help pay bills, employee wages, and lost income while that process is taking place. So this next one, this was something that I found. I think personally, with the type of business that a pressure washer company is, this would be higher on my list. Okay, and like I said, I'm not an expert in this field. I don't know if this is actually super duper important, but to me, it kind of seems like it is. So let's talk about pollution liability. And pollution liability is just basically what it says. It covers claims of chemical spills, overspray, or damage caused by cleaning chemicals. So that's the kind of thing that I was like, okay, cleaning chemicals, pressure washing. I know a lot of people, when they do pressure wash, they don't use any soap or any cleaners, but now you see the pressure washers with the actual container on the unit itself, and it automatically mixes. So that could really be a thing. And so here's an example. You're using a degreaser and runoff contaminates a customer's landscaping or flows into a nearby drain, causing damage. Pollution liability would help cover cleanup and claims. So that one kind of got me thinking about, the landscaping and things like that. I know probably 99% of all of the cleaners that are used are probably, biologically safe, but just in the rare case that something like that might happen, or a client's 100-year rose bush just happens to have a very tragic reaction to some of the chemicals, then to me, like I said, I personally would probably move that number 9, pollution liability insurance, up a little bit, but like I said, it's optional, but in my opinion should be higher on the list. And lastly, this is something that pretty much every business, unless you're strictly taking cash, is going to need some type of conversation about is cyber liability. And we've all heard of, data breaches, stolen customer payment information, and ransomware attacks. Those are everywhere. Scammers are everywhere. Everyone's trying to get, our bank account numbers, our debit card numbers, credit card numbers, social numbers, everything under the sun. So this is coverage to make sure that your client's information, even if you take, PayPal, Venmo, things of that nature, those have some cyber liability built into it. But if you take, Stripe or anything like that, where you're actually scanning the card, that's definitely something that we need to make sure that there's coverage for. Example, your scheduling software gets hacked and a customer's credit card information is stolen. Cyber liability pays for notification costs, credit monitoring, and legal defense. So that's kind of our spiel talking about pressure washing. So again, this is something that I keep seeing popping up. I see signs everywhere for commercial pressure washing. And if you've ever pressure washed something yourself, it is extremely satisfying to see all that grime and gunk go away from your driveway or your patio, and just to see it new. Just to see it new again. Some of us, if we bought our house, have never seen the concrete or anything that we're pressure washing new. So again, this is kind of cool. Whether it's concrete, your siding, you name it. Whether it might just be the front of your building. So it is a very gratifying experience to do, and it just refreshes everything and makes everything look brand new. So there's definitely a demand for this type of service. So for those of you that are doing this service, continue to do a fantastic job, because it makes old things look new again. And while you're doing this, we want to make sure you're doing it correctly and you're covered, because we want you to continue to be able to do these things. So that's why I put together this list. And like I said, if you are interested in getting that cheat sheet with all of these kind of highlighted with the examples that I provided, go ahead and drop me a comment, shoot me a message. Or if you do want to get a hold of me, directly, here's my contact information. If you want to contact me, you can comment on this video, shoot me a Facebook message, call the office here with the number provided, as well as my direct email. So I'll give you a couple seconds to screenshot that. And that is it, ladies and gentlemen. That is Tuesdays with Turbo, Hats Off edition, where we talk about different businesses and what type of coverages they should have. This has been the pressure washing edition. So let me know if there's any other businesses or professions you would like me to break down and kind of give you suggestions on what coverage you should have. Until then, everyone have a great week. The weather should be phenomenal compared to what we've had the last couple weeks, and I will see you next time.